You laughed and laughed and laughed. By Gabriel Okara. Gabriel Okara, born the 24th of April 1921, is a Nigerian poet and novelist who was born in Bomoundian State, Nigeria, in 1979. He was awarded the Commonwealth Poetry Prize. You Laughed and Laughed and Laughed is a poem by Nigerian writer Gabriel Okara. One of the most popular in his oeuvre. Okara's poem is more relaxed than these, however, more ironic, less tortured. In some ways, of course, it is less urgent, less strident, less involved. The poem looks appropriately straightforward, proud without arrogance, hurting without showing it, and blunt without rudeness. Let's look at the poem. You Laughed and Laughed and Laughed. By Gabriel Okara. In your ears my song. His motor car misfiring, stopping with a choking cough. And you laughed and laughed and laughed. In your eyes my anti-natal walk was inhuman, passing your omnivorous understanding. And you laughed and laughed and laughed. You laughed at my song. You laughed at my walk. Then I danced my magic dance, to the rhythm of talking drums pleading. But you shut your eyes, and laughed and laughed and laughed. And then I opened my mystic, inside wide like the sky. Instead you entered your car and laughed and laughed and laughed. You laughed at my dance. You laughed at my inside. You laughed and laughed and laughed. But your laughter was ice block. Laughter, and it froze, your inside froze. Your voice froze, your ears froze, your eyes, and froze your tongue. And now it's my turn to laugh. But my laughter is not ice block laughter. For I know not cars, no, not ice blocks. My laughter is the fire of the eye of the sky, the fire of the earth, the fire of the air, the fire of the seas and the rivers, fishes, animals, trees. And it thawed your inside, thawed your voice, thawed your ears, thawed your eyes, and thawed your tongue. So a meek wonder held your shadow, and you whispered, "Why so?" And I answered, "Because my fathers and I are owned by the living warmth of the earth through our naked feet." Synopsis. Gabriel Okara's poem consists of 10 stanzas, and describes the interplay of different interpretations of the same sounds, sights, and dances. The interaction that takes place within the poem is commonly thought to be between a white colonialist and an African native. The poem follows a trope in African literature of the white man laughed, which embodies the notion of dismay and cynical derision of the beliefs, practices, and norms of an African. However, Okara's poem can be seen to transcend the acceptance of the derision of the white man and present a wiser African intellectual. The poem concludes with the African man teaching the white man of his ignorance and helping him realize that the native beliefs of the African are not primitive nor removed from intellectual thought. As summarized by Pushpanaidu Parekh. In You Laughed and Laughed and Laughed. The colonizer's mockery and contemptuous disparagement of indigenous African culture and worldview are confronted and ultimately silenced by the warmth of the natives' fire laughter. End of the poem and summary. Thank you. Thank you.